Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here and I have a bunch of new makeup to test out and share with you today. Today's theme is holographic rainbow packaging. I picked up a few things from the new NYX Love You So Mochi collection. I was at Ulta and it just grabbed my eye. There are 2 eyeshadow palettes and 2 highlighter palettes in the collection. I just picked up the eyeshadow and highlighter that I thought would work best for me. So I don't have all 4 things to swatch for you today, but these are getting expensive. Okay, drugstore, calm down. The lip products that are a part of the Love You So Mochi collection are the Powder Puff lips, and that display was really picked over. A lot of them were opened and just all messy and jacked up looking at my Ulta. So if you're interested in those, leave a comment, let me know. I can always order them online and we can do a lip swatch video with those. But I did pick up one of the duochromatic lip glosses. I thought this would be perfect with all the other shiny stuff I was testing out today. So I did pick up one of these as well. I'm also testing out this new Glazen Face Glow from Butter London. This is a brand new product. It's very much like their Glazen eye products if you've seen or used those. It's packaged similarly and it has a similar creamy texture. So the NYX stuff I purchased from Ulta, but Butter London did send this to me and they offered me the chance to do a giveaway for you guys. So somebody will win one of these Butter London Glazen Face Glows. Just check in the description box to see the details of how to enter that giveaway. Here's the packaging for the Glazen Face Glow. I think this is really pretty with these like shiny, rainbowy butterflies. You can find this at Ulta. It is gonna run you 28 bucks. This is pretty expensive considering that you get 0.37 ounces. I'm gonna show you a little swatch and demo of me using this product. It says that it can be worn alone, it can be worn under makeup for like a glowy primer type of look, and it can also be used over makeup, which is how I chose to use it today. I used it as like a liquid highlighter and then I put the NYX highlighter on top. I was afraid that the really creamy, runny texture was going to pull up my foundation and my other makeup underneath when I applied this to my cheeks. I really didn't have that experience. It laid nicely, and even applying it with my finger, I didn't notice it disturbing any of the makeup underneath. It does have a pinky peach sort of reflection to it. It worked nicely as a base for the powder highlighter, but it is something that I would typically wear on its own just for a more subtle glow for a day-to-day look. Since we're on the subject of highlighters, let's talk about the NYX highlighting palette. This is in the shade Arcade Glam. So this one has paler and more cool tones. The other highlighting palette, it's called Lit Life, and it has warmer and deeper tones. So I think if you're fair to light complexion, this is probably the one you want, Arcade Glam. And if you're medium to deep, then the Lit Life is probably gonna work better for you. This retails for $18.99 at Ulta. I thought I was reading the sign wrong because, whew. There are 3 shades inside the palette. The first one is more of a gold to peach. The center one is more of a pink to silver. And then the last one is a very pale lavendery blue shade. I mixed together the first shade and the middle shade to wear over top of the Glazen Face Glow. NYX says that the texture of the powders, both in the highlighting palettes and the eyeshadow palettes, are inspired by Mochi. I don't know if you've ever eaten Mochi. It's a Japanese dessert and it has this very interesting texture. So the bounciness and softness of these powders definitely do remind me of Mochi. They're not quite as squishy and creamy as a ColourPop Super Shock product, but I'd say they're somewhere between that and a regular powder. And as shiny as it looks here on camera, it is even more intense in person. Let's talk about the eyeshadow palette now. I am gonna show you some swatches. First, let me just give you a little info. This retails for $19.99, $20 for a NYX palette. Ooh, it hurts me to say that. However, you are getting 10 shadows in here and some very pretty packaging. You know, us makeup lovers can always forgive a little bit of price for pretty packaging. This is the Sleek and Chic palette. There's also an Electric Pastels. That one just didn't really call my name as much, but I did think I would actually get some great wear out of these shades. I love a palette with a good mix of some approachable neutrals and some bright pops of color. This one is definitely fun but it's not as scary as you might think it is. The only shadows in here that are not just everyday kind of colors are the super glittery dark purple, this really bright peachy orange, which I'm wearing all over my lids today, and then this crazy cool dark green, also packed with glitter. This is a plastic palette. It is pretty heavy duty and it has a click closure. There are 10 shades. One is a matte. This light creamy shade here is a matte. There are 3 very glittery shades, and then the rest are metallic shimmer. There's no mirror and there's no brush with this one. Here are the swatches of the top row of the palette. I just did some quick finger swatches for you. That's really the best way to show these shadows because they are very metallic. They swatch best with the finger, they apply best with the finger, although I did use a brush with today's look for some of the shades, and I do think that it turned out nice. The first shade is the only matte in the palette, and it is a light creamy color. Next, a super intense metallic baby pink. The third shade is the dark glittery purple. And honestly, this is one of my least favorites in the palette. It just doesn't apply as well as the others. This, even with a finger swatch, you can tell. Next up is a gorgeous metallic copper. And lastly, this very pale champagne gold. This one has tons of glitters in it. I am absolutely putting this all over my eyelids next time. I really like this shade. Here is the bottom row of the palette. First up is this rusty brown, very shimmery metallic. Then we have a paler, more neutral metallic brown. Next, a super intense bright peach with a gold metallic shift, a metallic warm brown, and lastly, this really cool dark hunter green that is absolutely jam-packed with glitters. I wish that the purple shade performed like this one does, because this is awesome. As far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I wish that there was another matte in here. I wish that this shade was a medium or even a dark brown matte, because these two shades swatch very similarly. And like I said during the swatches, I'm just not really a fan of how this purple shade performs. I do like it, I just don't love it. I think there are some improvements that could be made. And if I'm buying a $20 palette from the drugstore, I really want to love it. I'm going to jump into a really quick little eyeshadow tutorial with this palette, and then we'll talk about the lip gloss. I'm starting off by priming my eyes with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. It's my favorite eye base of all time. And then I'm going into my NYX Love You So Mochi palette. This is the version called Sleek and Chic. I'm going to use that cream colored matte shadow to set my eye base. And then I'm going to use this shimmery neutral brown as my crease color. It makes me a little nervous using a shimmer in my crease because I always use a matte shade, but it actually turned out really soft and really nice. Next, I'm going to use this rusty brown, and I'm going to pack that all over the outer part of my lid. I was actually pleasantly surprised by how this shade performed with a brush. Now I'm going to do my all over lid color. I'm choosing this really beautiful bright peach, and I'm just packing that onto my eyelids using my fingertip. Next, I'm going to go back and build up a little bit more depth on the outer part of the eye. Again, using that same rusty brown shade on a fluffy brush. Then for my inner corner, I'm using the metallic baby pink, and I just press that into the inner part of my eye using my pinky finger. Lastly, I'm going to work on my lower lash line, and I just used that neutral shimmery brown that I used in my crease all along the lower lash line. Then I just curled my lashes, added a little bit of L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, of course some lip gloss, and that is my super shimmery, super bright, finished look. The last thing that I want to talk about is this duochromatic lip gloss. I have the shade Fair Play. I picked this up from Ulta for $7.99. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of glittery lip glosses. There have been a few in the past that I've liked. I'm pretty much always a fan of NYX lip products, so it's no surprise that I do enjoy this one. It's very, very shiny, but it's not too crazy looking unless you look really closely. Even from just a conversation distance, I think this doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't look like an intense duochrome glittery metallic. It looks very wearable in my opinion, and it does make my lips look super glossy and super juicy. It feels very comfortable. It's not super sticky. I really didn't think I was gonna love it, but I should have known because I always like NYX lip gloss. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these products. Have you tried any of these out? Are they on your wish list? Also, don't forget to check the description box to enter the Butter London giveaway. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Glow City, baby. Okay, palette time. I love this shiny. So, yeah. Ow. This brush hurts my eyeball. Poppin', yes, inner corner. I love that. My lips look so juicy. There's dog hair all over everything that I own in my life. Bummer. This is out of control. It seriously needs to be cut. I have so much gray hair here. I don't know if you can tell on camera because I think my ring light helps me out in that department a lot, but the grays are strong. And I married a guy in the army who was jumping out of airplanes, and then I had a kid. So it's just a miracle that all of my hair isn't gray at this point. I struggle with a lot of words actually. Does anybody else ever get distracted by their own highlight? It can't just be me. I know I'm not alone here. Put on a hoodie and be a bum like I was in. Check out my shirt. All I need is coffee and a little makeup. That basically sums up my entire life. Except all I need is 3 coffees and a lot of makeup. It's more like it, but they didn't sell that t-shirt, so let me know if you see that one on Etsy.